Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is the Meta-Two NXT AfterShow here with me, Katrina, hosting creative and Cat We Trust, and my twin, Shay from the Big Pop Theory podcast. How are you on this Tuesday?
You know, I'm doing all right. I think I'm getting sick because some guy was spitting behind me or talking. He was talking, believe it or not, but water was flying out of his mouth, and I wish someone would have told me I should have brought a raincoat to Raw. But other than that, I'm doing great.
Well, hopefully you don't get sick. That's why, unfortunately, I'm always in a mask still because I'm like, listen, I ain't trying to deal with the germs. People are nasty. But yes, outside of that, it looks like you had a good time.
Oh yes. The mana was running through me. I was very happy with everything that I saw that night. Great night, honestly. It's a great to check it off my list because I never got to see The Rock live, so it was very cool.
Have I? I feel like maybe once.
I never did.
It might have been once. I have to look at my. I have to think. I think I have maybe once. But yeah, I saw that clip of him when he showed the girl crying. Top tier. I was like, yes.
Listen, we were howling. We were howling in the audience.
I was crying because she was like, I would never watch Moana ever again. I was like, we don't care, sis. Like, this will happen to you when we fans of Cody Rhodes. This will happen. Dreams are crushed. And so I thought it was funny. I was amused. I was very amused. I was like, that's right, you tell him. But we are officially at WrestleMania week, which kicked off yesterday at Monday Night Raw in Brooklyn, BK NYC, stand up. And we're now, this is the go home show for Stand and Deliver. I know there's WWE World happening for those who will be in Philly. Obviously, WrestleMania night 1 and 2, SmackDown. You got the Hall of Fame. A lot of cool, awesome stuff is happening. And so, yeah, definitely a super awesome week. Looking forward to Stand and Deliver. What were your thoughts on the go home show?
I liked it. I feel like maybe the end segment was a little bit turned down a bit. It was a little bit turned down for me, but I liked it. I really rarely ever see myself saying, "Oh, I hated it." Like that just doesn't happen with NXT for me. That's my baby. That's my favorite show. Like this doesn't happen. So yeah, I would just say, I liked it. Was it like the craziest? Like, and I feel like a go home show should be a little bit like, have a little bit about it, a little bit more oomph. Do I feel like I had that oomph? Not really, but I still enjoyed the show though. So that's all that matters to me. What did you think?
Nope. Definitely a solid show. Hey, Corey. Definitely a solid show. I will agree that with regards to it being a go home show, I kind of agree. I do feel like you got to OD, not necessarily OD, but like I'll be like, oh, shock going into the event, because now I'm like, you better do what you need to do, and whatever is happening, just do what you gotta. Now you gotta continue that into the PLE or PPV, so whatever. And so I'm like, all right, I wasn't as turned as you needed to be, but it's okay because The Rock has been making me turn it up for me for the last couple of weeks, and so I'm like, you know what, my guy, thank you for just letting people know, and the children, because you got the children know sometimes it sucks to be you, even you. But yes, I agree with that. I definitely thought it was cool. I mean, I had some issues, but I'll get there with certain people. But outside of that, I did appreciate that for the most part. NXT always come with it. With women, don't do that. See, it's too early to start it for his last supper. Last supper to what? For the week? The last supper for the past weekend? You mean? Like, what last supper are we talking about? because you think Tony's gonna be having him in the trenches? Man, please. If you meant the last supper, maybe it was his last meal for today. And that's what you meant. Like what his last meal was for today, and I would like to know because when you wear turtlenecks and looking tough as you need to look, you gotta make sure you have a good diet. And so if that's what you mean, sure, yeah. Coming in with shenanigans already. But yes, this is the go home show for Stand and Deliver. So let's jump into it first. Being the number one contenders match between Gallows and Anderson Boo versus LWO, and Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And so I do think I was actually very happy with this. Very happy. And I say this because Katrina did not, I'm going to speak for myself. I did not want the OC to win. I didn't. I said for the last couple of weeks, I don't care about Chad. I'm get back. I don't like Chad. I don't like Chads usually and no Chads, but I don't like this Chad in particular. And I was like, you're not gonna have them win, boo. And so I was very glad that even though this match was a bit chaotic, because it was definitely chaotic, I do think Axiom and Nathan Frazier were the reasons. And this is no anything to LWO. I think LWO is great. And there were some moments that were like, really good moments in the match. Nathan and Del Toro wound up like diving onto the OC during the entrance as they should have cut that entrance off. We didn't ask for this, so yes. And then Nathan also hit a moonsault on Gallows, and then also on Wild, and then it was this whole thing on he was able to don't ask him. It was a whole thing that I really liked. There was one moment where OC did duck from Del Toro, but hit it with a magic killer. But everything else kind of broke up that, which I was very glad because I was like, what? We didn't need you, OC. Personally, we didn't need that. That stood out. But I was wanting if we're gonna have somebody win, it needed to be either Nathan Axiom or LWO. And so I was highly, highly, highly happy when Nathan did his 450 splash on Wild to win and make it as the number one contender to face off Braun and Corbin. And so, while I'm not a Baron Corbin fan, I do think if Braun and Baron kind of keep what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, and now you have Nathan Frazier and Axiom who seem to have gotten together very well as a team, I'm actually very glad about this because I thought that was going to hurt my little feelings and have me have to be like, ooh, the OC. And they did. And so I was like, you know what, Sean? Thank you, my guy, because, thank you. Because I didn't want to see Chad. Maybe they will. But you know what? I did not want to see Chad and his buddy get a title shot. We don't care. I don't care about who you're friends with. AJ Styles can be your homie. I got a lot of homies too. Does me being a homie means I want to see things I don't want to see? Nope. Sure don't. And so I was very glad with this. I do think they need to get them a name, for the love of God. Give them a name. Maybe they'll have a name by NXT Stand and Deliver, since they have now teamed quite a few times together. For the love of get a name. But outside of that, I am so glad the Good Brothers, the OC, Douchey Chad, and his buddy did not win. And I was like, thank you, Sean Universe. Thank you. But I thought it was a really fun way to start off the Go Home show. Personally, I thought, again, pretty solid action throughout it. And I'm like, all right, my guys, okay. But what is your thoughts on this matchup?
This match was insane. I really loved it. I feel like everyone was everywhere. I love a bit of chaos, so I love triple threats. So, and I love tag team triple threats even more. It's just so much fun. It just leaves so much to be done. So many things can be done. I feel like Joaquin Wilde has been on his y'all was acting like I was not him. Y'all was acting like I can't get busy in the ring. So now I'm doing the most every time I step in the ring. And he has been. He has consistently been doing the most. And I love it. I love it. Because I always knew, okay? I've always been a fan of him. So now that he's getting the love recognition, I said, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate y'all. I'm trying not to gatekeep. I feel the same way with Motor City Machine Guns right now. I'm trying not to gatekeep. I'm gonna let y'all all love them. I will let y'all all love him, but I want to.
You can gatekeep a little bit.
I was listen. Nobody knows. I was fighting, duking it out. 15 in the Motor City Machine Gun forums, but this is not about them. I'm just saying, okay.
No,
anyway, I really, really loved this match. Like, it was just so much fun, and I am happy with the winners. Honestly, I love Axiom. Like, it's been like from A1 day one with him. Like, yeah, and Nathan, I like Nathan too. Do he get on my nerves sometimes? Because like when that stuff with Dragunov, oh, he deserved that. He really needs to get knocked because nobody asked you to say all that. But other than that, Nathan, you are mad cool. Your hair is luxurious. It's like, I don't know what you put in your hair. Great hair. I will say I screamed so loud in my living room when he landed on his feet, when he did the flip outside. I said, no. I got scared to death. I said, hold up. You better calm down. And that just made me realize, you know what? I'm more of a fan of Nathan than I let on, because I would not have screamed that loud if I didn't care. So I definitely want them to win, because I feel like they've kind of been getting slighted a lot, honestly. Like, they are so consistent. They're one of the two most consistent people, whether they're solo or together in NXT, and they deserve to be rewarded for that. That's just how I see it. And Braun, he's on his way. Maybe Baron will, turn somebody, like, because it's time. It's time. It really is time, Braun. And I think that I would love to see Nathan and Axiom have some gold. I think they would deserve it. That's my thought.
No. Listen, Motor City, they're great. But I do believe one of them, if not both, were at WWE at some point before.
Yeah, because they fumbled. They fumbled.
They did. They were fumbled. And I was always a fan of Alex Shelley in particular, and so. But if maybe they'll do right if they come back. I feel like obviously get your coins, do what you need to do. It's like you want them in WWE, hopefully, because they'll get more audience. But then it's like there's also this that they might fuck them up again. Like but then you go to AEW and it's like, oh, you're gonna be part of one of those, and then we're not gonna see you for like months. Okay, and so I feel like you just can't really win in any like I don't know. But to really end, yes, I'm happy. Like I feel like sometimes when you mention the whole thing of like when you like a person you get upset. I'm like, no, it depends on what it is. I feel like if it's a match that you messing it up chances for the team to win, why are we playing this kind of game? That's where I'm on. I'm like, whoa, let's calm this down because you could be doing this to the team. There's just some things like how Jeff Hardy's always do shenanigans. I'm like, and I love Jeff, but I'm like, my guy, there's sometimes you gotta know when to stop. You cannot do this type of thing. Okay, and then now you laid up for the rest of the match. Gone. We can't be having that. I mean, all right.
Why would you say that? No. This is unprovoked. This is unprovoked and hurtful. He has a good long set of hair. Where is this coming from? Are you trying to assume baldness? No, because this is crazy right now. This is crazy. I can't even believe this. He has, like, his hair is almost the same length as my hair. Do you think I'm going bald? No, this is...
Sorry, they started early with the shenanigans. They started right in before 20 minutes. Y'all already on it. That's wild. I mean, I didn't know he was losing his hair, but okay. Yes, I mean, I didn't think he was
not losing his hair. What?
He had that side cut and long hair. I mean,
he had that side cut for years. That man has always had one side. He's either a mohawk, it's either the short curly hair, or it is one side gone, or it's blonde. That.
Oh man. That brings us to our first women's action night, which is JC Jane versus Fallon Henley. And so Fallon did come out in her, cowgirl attire. Uh, and, you know, it I mean, my thing is, because I know how I feel about, like, Fallon just sometimes get on my nerves. She really does. But this was a pretty, I guess, solid match. Fallon did dominate this with a lot of, like, offense. And, there was a couple of things that was pretty solid, I thought, about this. Um, I felt like this was clearly some kind of alliance thing happening, just because you had JC, then you had Kiana, Izzy, and even Jasmine Nix, who was you know wearing a sling from last week, and so this was pretty solid for what it was. But because Kiana and Izzy did attack Dia and Kalani, Fallon tried to save them and then wound up running into JC's running knee strike and took the pin, and JC would win this matchup. I'm not really sure, what's gonna happen, because I do feel like the match wasn't really long. Um, and it does feel like there's a slight alliance between the Kiana, Izzy, Jasmine, and JC. But it also could just be for the moment, to kind of give them something happening. But with that being said, I think it was, for what we got, it wasn't that bad. And after this, the said that she wants to get JC Jane, which would then make Ava book a 6-woman tag for Stand and Deliver. And so I guess we'll see how this goes. But I'm just like, girl, part of this is your fault, because if you wasn't doing shenanigans, Thea, we wouldn't have to do all this. Like, this is all because you couldn't listen to your group and want to sit there and think JC had your best interest at heart when she turned to her own best friend. I just feel like you should know the vibes. When you know what's the saying, you let people show you who they are. I mean, girl, you should have known. But otherwise, what it was solid. But I mean, like, girl, Fallon, you're not supposed to let JC do this to you. Like, you have not learned, I see. But what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think it's pretty standard. Like, it's not like some match I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta go back to watch. But it wasn't a bad match. I think, I feel like they were evenly matched. Like, I feel like there was no one person that was fully in control the entire time. So it was kind of like stalemate. I just don't understand how is Fallon involved in this? Like, I don't understand. She is a wizard. I need to know. She needs to write a book about it, about how she finds a way to put herself in everybody's business. She really does. I want to know, you know what? Because it sounds fun. It sounds exhilarating to just be in everybody's business all the time. It really does. Yeah, I'm kind of happy that JC won. I'm not gonna lie. But also, why Kiana, like, I didn't like it, because I feel like if they was giving like JC that middle girl, main girl vibe, and I feel like Kiana is clearly the main girly right now. Kiana needs to be the main girly. When is she gonna get her title shot? When is she gonna be champion? She needs to be champion. Like, honestly, I love Roxanne. Listen, Roxanne, I love you. But I feel like Kiana is so underrated. That girl is the full package in my eyes, honestly. And I'm just really waiting for the day when she finally gets that time to be at the top, at the mountain, where she deserves to be, because she's worked for it. Like, since day one, that girl has been working on it. Okay, don't play with her. And Thea, girl, I can't even be bothered with her. Every time she like, oh, she lied to me. Did she lie to you? Because I feel like JC was pretty straightforward with her foolery. Even when the whole thing, like, she never really switched up the verbiage. You just was in your feelings about some foolishness. You wanted to have a problem so bad, you brought someone in to dismantle your college from the inside. You made Andre Chase become an alcoholic, and he blew all the damn money from the college. You made Duke lose his trophy for a little bit. I mean, he got it back, but he still lost it. You did that. And you probably had something to do with all the other people that left chase you as well. You are a domino effect. And now you want to be the victim.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, to the comment that are both, yes, they're both responsible, but I feel like with regard to like, I don't know, hey, I don't know. I just feel like, Thea, if she was just Fallon, I'm gonna have, because just I don't know why she always seems to be in the business, and like clearly she hasn't gotten any yet. That's why she's involved. Digest. I don't know about that. That's a questionable choice, but okay, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, JC was kind of always on it, and this one, like, Thea, girl, are you blind? Because like, how do you not see what the rest of us are seeing? Like, girl, did she ever really like pretend to be anything? It was pure fake. It like, I feel like, have you not been in, like, you just, Thea's young enough that she got out of school not so long ago. So you're telling me you was in school, don't know the fake vibe, girl vibes? You're supposed to know this. We all had experiences at least once in our lives, like, I mean, same, to be fair, I didn't like the trophy either. But I'm just saying, I hope not. Because I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for it at all. Personally, like, I mean, I guess she got a little better in NXT. Um, but yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's let Mandy have whatever she doing in the after WWE vibes. Do that, Mandy. Do you? I don't just be coming back here and then there's too many girlies on the roster right now trying to get on up. Let Mandy stay where she at. Don't be doing that. I see how it's gonna go. And look, oh my God, Mandy's beautiful, and then now my team of girls. No, it's fine. But yeah, no. Otherwise, why I can appreciate a good. Don't be see just more negativity. Come on, you miss Mandy. Okay, we'll find her on social media. See her that way. Okay, find Mandy that way. With that, with that being said, let's move along to our next matchup, which was Alexis King versus Von Wagner. And so Lexus did taunt Von Wagner before the match, saying that Von Wagner could not beat him without Robert Stone. So Von charged him basically in the beginning. He seemed really angry. And this is my issue. This is my issue with Von Wagner. Because my guy. This is my problem. Because you're supposedly upset. And, oh, I'm angry. And then you let Lexus King, you know, you try to get him to an announce table doing way too much. And now he got to do the coronation and you lost. So what have we learned, Von Wagner? What have we learned? Nothing. You have learned nothing. And this is why and not that, because I do want to give Lexus King some direction. I feel like he's not directed. They don't know what's happening because he's just doing everything. He needs some direction. But with that being said, Von Wagner, you shouldn't have lost this. This would have been the perfect time to show people, and look what we do. So here we are. And because just going to put this to comment about the filler, this reminded me of a filler in anime. That filler that's like, oh, and when you are completely unknown to something and you watch the filler, like, it could be a great episode. And then you're like, this has nothing to do with the story. This is what I got from this. This was a filler in the Von Wagner story that Katrina did not ask for. And asked for it. So I was like, oh, so we did all of this. And you still lost, Von Wagner. Where here we are. Never more TV time. Was anybody entertained? I wasn't. I was like, yes. Okay, Von Wagner, you made me feel better. My bad for being wrong. No. I don't know. And so I'm like, oh, okay, we got this. But here we are. wasting my time. But what were your thoughts on this unnecessary match between X4?
I'm going to say one thing first. We are no longer having a existential crisis, guys. We are done with the Von Wagner story. I am done with it. It was a waste of everyone's time. Most importantly, Lex's time. This is the problem that I have with Von, because I don't understand what he is really wanting. What do you actually want? Like, no, seriously, I really feel like now I understand why Robert Stone was saying, help me, help you. Just saying, what do you want? Like, for real, what do you want, Von? Literally, you want to win? Because it doesn't seem like it, because you was very ready to throw away your winning by putting another person to a table. Hello, sir. Not every match is going to be a table match. I hope you know that. I hope you do. You need to find another way to... I get it, the crowd likes it, but it makes zero sense to me that you're going to try to do this every time you have a match and just end it in a DQ. What are we doing here? Like, so what are you here for? It's genuinely confusing me. I don't understand it. And I'm just glad that Lexus won. I was like, listen, if Lexus does not win, I'm going to pick up the lightest book that I have in my home. I'm going to throw it because I don't want to damage anything. But I need to get the frustration out. So I need just to throw a book, but it will be a small one for less damage. Keep Vaughn away from Lexus moving forward. I don't want to see him again. Not again. No more. No mas. Lexus, I saw you. Oh my God. He is really like, he even pointed. He said, look at the abs. Look at the coming there. I see you. I see you. I see you've been working. I appreciate you. I really do. But yeah, they need to give Lexus some direction, because right now it's like he's just twisting in the wind. I think he'd be a great filler for that Grayson Waller hole that was left. I really do think that he could do that. Like, he needs to the talk show thing and stuff. Like, I really think he's a great character. Like, he's very good at talking. He's very good at annoying the hell out of everyone. That's beautiful. That's fantastic. So I just need more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you've been a little bit nicer about that than I feel, but yeah, I don't know. Von Wagner, they said that Regina George says fetch is never going to happen. Or let's stop trying to make fetch happen. This is how I feel about Von Wagner. Stop trying to make him happen. Stop trying to make him happen. To be fair, we don't even need... Mandy didn't need to lead for us to see that. I've always said this. I'm like, I didn't even like Mandy, because I don't. And I can say that she got better when she was in NXT. She did. She learned something. But I was not there for Gigi or JC when she was there. I didn't care about Toxic Attraction at all. I was like, okay. It was obvious that was for Mandy. Sean didn't say that. He didn't say that at all. I will, Sean is a born again Christian. I will be in his dreams. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. That's right. Burn it. Burn it all the way down. Then when there's ash, you burn it one more time till it's nothing. There'll be nothing, no cinders, nothing. Okay? Nobody's asking Sean for those type of shenanigans. We're not asking for that. And whoever's on Twitter, I might have to ask them, what is wrong with you? That's how you want to delay your time with shenanigans? Yeah. I'm going to have to give it to you there, because I dare Sean not asking for that. Like I said, Sean would play with me like that. He will... But yeah, I just so this now leads us to our match with Carmen Petrovic, who was there with Natalia versus Lola Vice, and so this is alright, I guess. It was alright, not bad. I do think that setting this rivalry up will be good for both Lola and Carmen, and that's good. I'm fine with that. And since Lola's self didn't know how to wait when she could have waited and used this thing to her advantage when she had her, opportunity, I do think this can get better, with more of this. So it's about it was a very short match, and I felt like it was a little bit one-sided to me. And even with Carmen trying really hard, Lola seemed to me a little bit more focused on Natalia, which I'm like, girl, now Lola, like, this is my problem with Lola. I feel like Lola just comes in and wants to be like, okay, let me just be with the big dogs. Like, slow your roll, Lola. What happened the last time? You won, and then you want to cash in, and where did that end you? Oh, we lost. No, that's not me giving praise. No, don't do that. I can say that for having a feud with them would be a good idea. Yes, I do think it's something that can work. But she's sitting there focused on Natalia for what? Do you think you even up to Natalia's standards? No. No. And so I was like, girl, you busy worrying about Natalia, and you almost lost. You almost lost. Carmen almost got it. However, Lola did the whole back elbow. She did a sharpshooter, and Carmen tapped. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I felt like it was supposed to be, like, what was the purpose of you doing a sharpshooter? Are you trying to let Natty know something? Like, we all know there was always a joke that's made. I love Natty, but like they always say that every time they saw her do a sharpshooter, Bret Hart is crying on the inside. I personally can't do a sharpshooter, so personally I don't know, but I've heard those jokes. But like, girl, shouldn't be working. Like, shouldn't be worrying about the match. The fact that Carmen almost got you out with a spin kick to the back. Like, girl, get it together. Like, watch what you're doing. And so while I was like, I mean, I guess you gotta win, Lola. I'm just like, okay. Like, if Natty do some time, like Natty do what she does, locker room leader, and just be like, you know what, Carmen, I got you. Lola gonna go down as she should. And so I'm like, I mean, I guess. Like, I'm just like, what are you too concerned about? Like, stop putting your britches a little too high. Relax. You are not even on Natty's level. Calm that down. Like, what's wrong with Lola? She coming here like, oh, and y'all be letting these shenanigans slide. People are pretty. Gotta stop doing that. She sit here thinking she on Natty level. Like, you not even like. She ain't be worried about your opponent. You are nowhere near close to Natty. Like, if Natty really was to give you the business, you're gonna be sad, Lola. And instead, it's gonna be me dancing to my TV at home, like, ha, you thought. Okay, but for what it wasn't bad. I do think if they continue with it, could be a good feud. I do think. I don't think she should have won the Witch Call in the first place. But that's. She thought she was going to win something. That you're going to beat people better than you. Stop these shenanigans. But I do think this, like I said, I do think this could be a feud if they keep it up with it. But we'll see. We'll see. But she did win. But I do think if they just keep at it, maybe give them a little bit more time, then this can be, and I'm sure you guys already know who I'm going for. I know who I'm going for. That ever happened, if she ever lower her standards to fight somebody clearly beneath her, and this is what Rhea Ripley does, I'm like, I don't know, Rhea. Like, you shouldn't even like lower your level of greatness down for this. But if you do, you know who I'm going for. Rhea all day. Don't do that. I would never. It would always be Rhea. It would always be Rhea. Like I said, I will, even if it makes her happy, throw me to the side and still beat Lola up, and that's perfectly fine with me. Those are the vibes. If that's what you want to call mind games, Natty wasn't paying her no mind really. She was there, but she wasn't threatened by Lola. Get real, please. But yeah, personally, yeah. I mean, I guess. On this matchup.
You know what? I feel like this match really surprised me for the right reasons, because I still hadn't seen a lot of Carmen, and so I was still trying to figure her out. I'm still trying to figure out her moveset. I'm still trying to figure her out in general to see where I stand with like her, like in terms of, if I'm going to be a fan or whatever. And I like her. I think that, obviously she's obviously gorgeous, duh. But I think she definitely keeps up in the ring. Like, she was pulling out a lot of really smooth, quick moves that I really, really was like, I liked it. And then also when I kind of looked at her and then I kind of feel like I was like, oh, you kind of look like Uma Thurman, especially with the sword. I was like, okay, you're giving Uma Thurman really hard, and I like that for some reason. So that just made me like her more for some reason. I can't explain. It's so ridiculous. Lola, you snatched something from me, and I don't know if it was my wig or my stand card. I'm still trying to figure out which one you snatched from me, but I kind of loved the energy that she was giving in this match. I really did. I liked when she did the sharpshooter and looked at now. I just felt like it was very like, I'm on your head. What I always have liked about Lola is, yeah, she's very new to this. You know, she's not one of the main top dogs, but she still is gonna shoot for the top every time. Like, she has gumption about her. I like that. That's something that kind of grew on me. And even tonight, it really was like, it's growing on me. And then I'm so sorry, and Jeffrey brought it up. That was the funniest thing ever. It was like almost like a Fortnite game. Like when you win, when you get the victory battle royal, and then you just start emoting. She's literally like just beat this girl up. Natty's holding her, and she's just like, I'm sorry, that's fucking hilarious. I was on the floor. So for me, Lola definitely kind of won me over tonight. Like I've been kind of teetering with her, and tonight I'm just like, you made me laugh. And anyone that makes me laugh really hard, you already have my heart, because I love to laugh most of the time, honestly. So yeah, I liked it, and I'm excited to see where it goes, honestly. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, I would never stand. And I would never stand. If y'all have learned nothing for as long as I have been, listen, I said when I was saying it the first time that there's always the jokes that every time she does a sharpshooter, Bret Hart is dying a little on the inside. There's a reason those jokes were said. Now, did I say that? No. But I have definitely laughed at them. And I definitely heard people say, Bret is dying every time he sees her do it, he is literally crying on the inside. That is what. So if that it's possible, because again, I've seen jokes, I've seen them, and I have definitely laughed. I have laughed. With that being said, never, no. I am really. Anytime people come here act like there's nothing wrong with being confident. I'm okay with people being confident. That's fine. When people be doing too much, like, girl, again, have you even earned this? You literally had a title match and you lost. That tells me all I need to know. So what you're telling me is you want me to take lighter fluid and some matches and just light it ablaze. That's what you want to do. If this is time for me if I'm having a stressful day and I need to like let some steam out, perfect way. Give me those shirts. I'll use that when I'm pissed off. Oops, been a bad day. Oops, sorry, Cody. Sorry, Cody shirt. But no, I don't do that. But this line sounds like when men do shenanigans and they be like, "That's old shit." No. This is we wrestling fans. Everybody happy that the Rock is attitude ever Rock. It's like, oh my god, but where's that from? That's from the past. Laughing at Cody Rhodes getting beat up last year. Oh, guess what? That's from the past. Got beat up. It's fine. My point is, she did all that and she lost. L. And so when people do all this and you're not even backing it up, I don't want to hear all that all that yada yada. I don't hear that. And so until you go to Natty, like Natty, Natty is like dramatic. Like, let's act like if anybody's seen Total Divas, y'all know how Natty is. Of course she's offended by that. Natty was offended by a lot of stuff. Okay, I could have said you had one cat too many and she might have hated my guts. I don't know. I don't know. I could have been like, ooh, Natty, you got too many cats, and I might have gotten hate mail for all I know. I don't know. Like, she really, she's real dramatic. Yeah, backed it up right to loss. So all I'm saying is, Natty's dramatic a bit. She's a bit dramatic. So I feel like, of course, she's going to be a little offended that she did a sharpshooter, because she'd be like, excuse me? That's like, I forgot. I think Low. I think it's Low that always has like. I think it's her like on Twitter sometimes. It's like the Natty, and you could just see Natty's voice when it's said, and I'm like, yes, you just. That's what it is. I feel like Natty was gonna be offended regardless.
Oh my god! My favorite thing that she does, and when she's just randomly like is quiet, she goes, "Shut up!" I love when Natty does that. Like that literally like it brings something into my spirit. Like seriously.
The hips didn't have to lie. That's perfectly fine. But you know what did lie? That record. L. She thought she was gonna get a W and she got an L. So she beat Carmen. Okay. She should have. She should have beat her. It is. She should have beat her. You played the wrestling a bit longer than Carmen was. You should beat her. Acting like you're gonna do something to Natty. Get real. Please. Please. Stop these shenanigans. That's all I'm saying. But Lola's gonna find herself right there with everybody else. Like, we don't need those rights. Like, if it's gonna be every week, I'm like, irritation. It's gonna be how I felt about who was it that I really just couldn't stand. See, like, even like this, they're good examples. I don't like Tiffany Stratton like that. I don't. Tiffany gets on my nerves. Tiffy time irks my soul. But you know what she can do that Lola can't? Oh yeah, wrestle a little better to her. And I don't think Tiffy got better. Yeah, I know how I said that. Don't be acting like this and you don't do all this well. Calm down. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, all Natty gotta do is slip her, and it'll be fine. So this now leaves us to our segment on the Supernova sessions with Meta-Four, and this originally started, with like Roxanne kind of saying she had to say, but Lyra, who I did see the video earlier, kind of said, that she was over Roxanne and Roxanne's shenanigans. I have to come back to that one. Don't do that. Don't do that. I gotta come back. I don't like those comments. I don't like that negativity thrown in the air. And so it got real crazy because while Roxanne complained, Lyra didn't particularly take it too seriously, and she responded by punching Lyra, which made Lyra bleed. And it seemed like the Meta-Four was enjoying the drama, like Noamdar holding the pillow in the back while this is happening. And I'm like, so extra for no reason. That was great. And so when it started getting like extra, Noamdar did cheer for this. But Lyra would take Roxanne and basically, fireman carry her, slam her through a table. And so obviously they're building all up for this rematch at NXT Stand and Deliver. I thought, and I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I do feel like Roxanne would probably win it. But yeah, it was good for what it was, but I think this was just like what you said in regards to having a little bit more drama going into, and I felt like they should have really win. And then like, and now you're like, oh yeah, I'm really upset now. But yeah, otherwise it was pretty solid lead up into it. And before I give it to you, about this venting, don't do that because I vent and complain about a lot of things. I live in New York, prices are up, the MTA is not safe. I gotta be there with things happening. Okay, my child is passing me in height and it makes me sad. There's a lot of things I should be venting and be sad about. I'm sad about a lot of things. Okay, I wanted something from the store, they didn't have it. I'm sad. That does not mean I like something though. Don't do that. Don't put that negativity in there. Katrina don't like nobody. I don't like Cody Rhodes, and I'm gonna talk shit every time. Thank you, Dwayne. Every time. Every time. Don't do that. But now that was said, what were your thoughts?
I like to add to some things that I like to complain about in New York. Since we're doing it. How about yesterday? Every time I come to either MSG, Barclays, or wherever WWE wants to come, they never have the shirts that I want in my size. They never have a Finn Balor shirt. They never have the Judgment Day shirts in my size. No, they have it in everyone else's size. Is it really that hard to find a small Never. They didn't have it for any shirt. You know, the only shirt that they had a small for, I swear to God, I thought it was a sick joke. I was looking around for Ashton Kutcher. Do you know the only shirt they had that was my size? A We Want Cody shirt. What I'm gonna do with that? But that's, you know what? Let me just get up. Now, I liked this segment. I did. I thought it was funny. I think the metaphor, they are just so, like, they gel. Like, all the personalities just work so well together. I'm really happy for these four set people because I feel like they deserve to just be on screen because they're just so funny. They are so funny. Like, and just like, they just have a great vibe about them. Like, love them, love them. Roxanne, oh, she was in her bag. She was in the money. She was quick with it. Like, and this is one thing I always say. I kind of love when wrestlers turn heel because they're able to tap into more things. When you're a heel, you're able to try more things out. If you get booed, who cares? Because you're a heel, right? Then the stuff you transfer over. Half of John Cena's freaking catchphrases he came up with when he was a heel. You can do more. And I already see Roxanne being able to do more, being able to test more things. And it's just really, really great to see. Like, I'm such a fan of her. I really do want her to win. I do like Lyra. See, this is terrible because I do like Lyra. I think she is fantastic. And ever since she said something about her love for Evanescence, I see it. I see Amy every time I look at Lyra, every time. Like, she gives that the vibe. So I hate it. I don't want to root against Lyra because I think she's so good. But Roxanne is just locked in. She is locked in. And I'm really captivated by this new side of her. Like, I wasn't feeling it was the same thing of like back and forth, very like in between, like no direction. Once they solidified what her direction was, I've been on board. I have been fully on board. I mean, I've been on board with Roxanne no matter what, but I was a little bit like, girl, what's going on here? Now I'm like, girl, I see what's going on, and I want you to win. That's where I'm at. That's really where I'm at. And then for Lyra to say, oh, it wasn't no one's fault that you haven't got the title. Clearly, you saw Lola squeeze herself in that match, and Roxanne wasn't the one to take the pin. So she's clearly right. She's clearly right. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna have a banger match also. So I'm just really excited. Like, it needs to be Saturday. Like, we need to hurry this up.
Yeah, no, I like Lyra too, but I do think Roxanne. I don't think she should have lost in the first place. To be fair, though, I didn't, and I still I did, and I like Lyra. And I think she did for what time she's had. She's been good, but like, no, Lyra usually, yeah. But yeah, I feel like Roxanne's gonna take it back and do so as a heel. The thing is how well if she wins it, can she keep it being a heel? Like, would it be one of those situations like, oh, you're a champion now and it doesn't hit the same? You know how sometimes just some people are like better at certain things if they're chasing or so like that. So we'll see. But yes, just to your shirt point, this has happened to me when I went to what you call it, and then I had my Rhea Ripley shirt in my size. I was like, oh, so you act like you didn't know it was coming, like. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all because I'm like, oh, I'm not here. I'm not here. So you don't have Rhea Ripley just waiting for me to buy her shirt, like. So I understand. Definitely understand. Yeah, well, the tissues are gonna be a little delayed, okay, because it makes me very sad. With pride, get together. You be embarrassed with pride. You be embarrassed. Be embarrassed you even open your wallet for that. Be embarrassed you put out any money towards We Want Cody. Okay? Don't waste your money. Don't embarrass yourself like that. Let me tell you guys, like, don't play with me. Don't do that. I have to accept it as possible. I might have to grieve, and it's fine because that might be the time Katrina has to go to red. Oh, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want those vibes. Yeah, I want those vibes. This brings us now to Uba Femi versus Joe Gacy. And so there was a video package with both Josh Briggs and Dijak that was shown before, which Oba Femi was watching. And so this was pretty solid. This is pretty solid stuff. There was a moment Oba chopped Joe's chest loudly. It kind of echoed. He also caught Joe during the upside down and planted him, like I believe off the snake eyes, which I thought was pretty cool. But I feel like there's it was a weird thing because like during the entrance, I guess for Joe, Sean Spears like hit him with a steel chair, and then he said he was laughing now, and it was a really weird thing. Like he wanted to fight, and then he pretty much he threw Joe Gacy all over the place, and then the referee kind of had to call it off. But outside of that, I was pretty for what it was. It was pretty solid. And obviously, this is also to set up for this thing between Joe and Sean, whatever. But obviously, Oba won this off of referee stoppage. And after Joe would ask Ava for a match with Sean at Stand and Deliver. So what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I did, and I paid for it immediately. I just wanted the mana to run through me, but all I did was hurt my wrist. So we'll try again tomorrow. That slap, can I just, like, if I just could for a second, please, because, like, let's hear this. Listen to this. Why would anyone slap someone this hard? And why isn't he in jail? And why didn't Joe press charges? I guess it's because it's Joe Gacy. I would have pressed charges if someone slapped me that hard too, truth be told. But, I mean, it was for what it was. I think it was just meant to make Oba look insane, like insanely strong, which he does. And I think Joe, it doesn't matter if Joe takes a loss or anything, because his character is like, he's like almost like, I think I've said this before, he is the Nikki Cross of NXT, which means they are crazy. They don't care about wins or losses that's like beyond them. They just care about chaos and violence. That's it. So a loss means nothing. It doesn't change anything or affect anything when it comes to him. And also, Sean Spears was right. The man has been stalking and harassing him for weeks, and now he finally wants to get his lick back, and people got a problem with it? What? Because, I mean, he has been harassing this man. I'm surprised it took him this long to really start getting at him. Truthfully. Because that's crazy. And I do hope that, Sean continues getting his lick back. No shade, Joe, but you started this. So you just gotta deal with that. You gotta deal with that. You really do.
Yeah, no. I in that regard I agree. I do think that Joe definitely was starting. But I do like that it seems like he's getting a little more crazy. And yes, if he would have slapped me like that, y'all will not be seeing me here today. I would be coming in like every person who's ever had a neck brace, over exaggerating neck brace, that would be me. I will have to come in on a stretcher. And look what happened to you. I got slapped in the chest. That's it. I will not be here. Like, I would literally just be laid for the rest of the match like a Jeff Hardy ladder dive. That's it. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm not a Sean Spears fan. I think that's like part of like almost like whatever happens to him is fine, because I just don't like him. I didn't like him before, I didn't like him after, I don't like him again. I'm like, are you gonna guess? I don't really care in any capacity what you're doing. But here we are. I
have an old 10 shirt, so I just have a little bit of that left in me. I have a little perfect 10 shirt still, so I can't help it.
So, this next matchup, which was some more ladies action, was with Ren Sinclair versus Ariana Grace. And so this was pretty solid. During this matchup, Booker T did compare Ariana to Carmelo, who's also, the beauty queen. That could become scary when it was ready to fight, when it was time for a fight or whatever. And so I felt like Rin definitely brought the action to Ariana in this. Ariana has really good selling, I think, and she makes everything look so much extra when she sells. And I think it makes her opponents look a lot better. And so I think that's something that's like pretty cool. Ren also left a handprint on Ariana's chest, which was like goddamn. And so I don't know. I like this, that in regards to Ariana is being used to have these matches, and she always gets these wins where it's like she got the win with her hands on the rope, and it was a barely. And I thought it did work in that regard, like that it works for Ariana. I think this is something that the whole like I'm too pretty, but also like this is like beneath me, but then also like I'm gonna get my win forever, and I like that. I think that's something. Wait, what? What was this comment? Listen, yeah, get back to. So I thought it was done well, in that regard. That I like that Ariana is kind of becoming this whole like she's barely winning, but it's working, and then she always makes the moves look like it's just so like it's so drastic. It's I think it's really good acting, and I'm hoping that like they just keep like I would like to see her obviously fight longer matches, but I do like that we have it, her doing these, and hopefully with this whole stuff with Gigi, that hopefully will turn her character around and give her a new leash on, or I don't say leash on life, but maybe a breath for fresh air rather. Cause girl, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But yes, to that comment about you wouldn't see me into Rock versus Roman. Honestly, if I got slapped like that, yeah, I might not see me then. To be fair, it might be like slap me to the multiverse or to next WrestleMania 41. Like, Katrina, what happened? I don't know. Like, I was up and then I wasn't. And, just when they have a show about unfortunate accidents, just talk about me well. So I'm asking. That's all I ask is when you guys are on your green screen interviews talking about me, just just give me some good vibes. That's it. I'm gonna be like laid up. They're gonna show a picture of the hospital room. I'm going to be laid there. No words. Um, but what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I think it's pretty standard. I don't think it was like an overtly amazing match, but I thought it was pretty good. Ren, I'm still on the fence about Ren because I feel like she has no direction at the moment, and also I would just like to see her in a different ring gear. I don't know why I feel this way, but I just do. Not that I find her ring gear ugly. I just would like to see her in something a little different. Like, I don't know. I feel like something different would just give a better presentation to like looking more serious. So I feel like the ring gear now is kind of like, I don't know. It's not giving me serious. So that's just something that stood out to me. But that chop was, he was trying to smack her front to her back, like, because what was that, girl? Oh my goodness, that was good. That was a good one. She fired that up. She's been cooking that one for weeks. Okay. I love Ariana. Oh my god, she's just too good. She's too good. Like, she just gets it. She really gets it. Like the acting, the comedic timing, and also Jeffrey, I do agree. The gear, the top, I believe the blue was like royal blue. I feel like that was the color. I loved how it looked on her. Like, this is by far my favorite gear. I'm a little I'm confused why Georgina, because I'm gonna keep it up with I'm gonna keep up with the story, don't worry. Georgina was not there, but I think when she finally reveals herself, it's gonna be great TV. I'm really excited for her, honestly. I think that Gigi has needed like a refresh. She's needed something to kind of like bring her back, you know, into that like front space, because I feel like she's been playing the background recently because they haven't really had something like specific for her, I feel like. And I really, really want that for her because I'm a fan. I really am a fan, and I want the best for her. Like, I'm gonna stay consistent when it comes to Georgina. I'm trying to keep it up. It's easy to say Gigi. I'm gonna stay consistent. I want to see her win, and I really love Ariana, so I want to see them win together. And I really think they're gonna make magic. Like when they start getting the ball rolling with this whole thing, I think it's gonna be magic for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. At least you know me well. Yes, like it's shenanigans that led her here clearly to the hospital room. Okay, as long as you know, as long as y'all know. Yes, this now leads us to our next matchup, which was Sol Roca versus Blair Davenport. And so, I thought this was pretty solid. When Blair came out very confidently, it did seem like Sol Roca looked a little bit nervous or a little bit uncertain. And as soon as the bell rang, Blair was able to kind of lay out Sol Roca with a shotgun drop kick. Sol Roca did do this springboard splash on one leg, and then like a handspring DDT off the ropes, which I thought fantastic. I thought this was really well. Um, Blair did control most of the match as far as constantly targeting Sol Roca's left knee, but um, she was able to reverse a short arm knee strike into a small package for a three count to win this match. I do think this match was a bit more slower paced for her, and I'm not sure if it's because the fact that she's supposed to be selling the knee injury, or it was because it was just Blair's pace. Um, but I do think it was smart if it's like part of the whole thing with the knee, because it made her use something she probably wouldn't have used, as far as being a little bit more smart to kind of outsmart Blair in this, which I thought was, really well done. And so this was one of her longer matches, and also one that kind of sold the drama between the two of them. And so I thought it was really well done. With that being said, I still feel like it's really unfortunate with regards to Blair, because while all this stuff is happening, it's like, well, what are we doing with Blair? What are we doing? I feel like you have her doing all these things to the women, and then she's either losing the feuds, or like she gets like her moments, but then it's back to another loss. And so I feel like this is like, once again, like you want Sol Roca to do well because we missed her, or at least I did. But then you want Blair, who can wrestle, and it's like, goddamn, like how do you decide in this regard? So yeah. But otherwise, for what I thought it was a really good, really, really good match between them. And I thought this, if anything, is just telling how good she really is. And this is Blair, we already know, but I mean, Sol Roca in regards to, again, really athletic, but I'm just glad she's coming back on one where it's like, oh, yes, girl. Yes. Um, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like she'll get a moment, and then it's like, oh, she lost again. And you're like, well, what are we doing? And that's unfortunate because I do like Blair. But what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I actually like this. I feel like they both were given a lot. I feel like Soul is just like, she's one of them. She's definitely one of them. Like, for how short amount of time, for her to be as good as she is crazy to me. It really is. I feel like she's almost a full package, but I still do feel like she needs to get a little bit more of a handle on her character. Like, because right now she's just a surfer girl that can really wrestle, So I feel like I need a little bit more from on that aspect, but I am a fan. I think she's fantastic. That's that one thing that, once she gets that, it's really over. It's really a wrap because she's on some different type of time. I liked this match, and I do feel like what you said, like the pace. I think it kind of just was Blair. Blair works like she's very slow and methodical with how she wrestles, and she's also very dominant in the ring. I feel like she will make you wrestle her pace. It don't matter who she's going against. You gonna slow it down, girl. You gonna catch these blows today. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I kind of love about Blair Davenport, why I enjoy her matches so much. That DDT, girl, so Ruka, you are crazy. How does she be even getting these things done? I don't even know. Witchcraft, maybe. And I do feel like the thing with Blair, it just was a really bad, it was bad timing, everything. Like, I feel like they had this huge storyline because everyone at one point was like, who is attacking all these people in the parking lot? It was like the biggest thing that everyone was like, who is doing this? And we finally find out. They start to get into the storyline with her and Nikita. Nikita gets injured. Now it's like, it's awkward. What are we doing in the meantime? And then you got to wait for Soul to be cleared to come back to then restart it. But people already died down, like, because you were supposed to strike when the iron was hot, type of beat. And the iron, it was not struck while it was hot. And so now it's just like all that steam from who's the parking lot attacker, like, it's just gone now. And it just really, really, I think it was just timing and injuries. It's kind of like messed it up a lot for Blair, which I hate. But she's fantastic. And I know if given the chance to get that right direction, she'll be back at the top again. She's just, an undeniable talent. When she gets between the ropes, and when she gets on that mic, yeah, she's heating up. She's heating somebody up.
Yeah, no, as far as, no, I'm okay where even though her not doing the Soul Snatcher, because by as much as we like it, I think it shows other stuff that she can do. I think you don't want to get tired of it too soon. And you know how, again, wrestling fans are wrestling fans. And you want them not to be wrestling fans. You don't want them to complain, but they always do. And so we shall see. But as to your comment about, that it's definitely in the women's locker room. So this now leads us to our last segment. One being that Tony D'Angelo took out my guy Ilya Dragunov to a special dinner, talking about this gonna be his last meal as NXT champion. I'm like, listen here, Tony. I want to know what Delulu medicine you smoking. Let me know. That delusion can be as real as yours. Because how dare you? Don't be talking. To do this type of shenanigans after Easter is wild. Like to talk about some Last Supper, like Easter didn't just happen. It's rude. It's rude. It's like you putting that type of negativity in the air. Like you're not Christ. You're not Christ. You're not the disciples. You're not Judas. Calm that down, Tony. Calm that down. Yeah, a mafia movie that it needs to end with Tony going to jail or something. I don't know. But I was like, ew. I don't like that, Tony. Don't be saying that shenanigans. Okay, I don't like that. Okay. But also this also was a segment between Trick and Carmelo. And so they were in the locker room, basically backstage, and they basically talked, about what led to this matchup at Stand and Deliver. Every time Carmelo talked, the audience seemed to boo a lot harder, a lot louder. But Carmelo took no type of accountability whatsoever for what he did to Trick. He just complained that he tried to steal his title. Trick did call out his ego. He also did make the mention, which is quite true, that this will be the first WWE PLE main event on the WrestleMania weekend to feature two black men, which I thought was a nice stat there, like a good stat. But it got heated, and they got into a fight, and the locker room had to separate them. I was actually perfectly fine with this not happening in the ring because I felt like we already had a bunch of segments between them in the ring where something broke out and it got crazy, and I didn't think we needed it again. I think having it in the locker room was perfectly fine, especially with guys. You know, you think of like that, like you have an issue with a person, and men, you know, I've seen men do this where they want to chop it up real quick, and then it just doesn't work out the way, and so it's like now we're fighting, but like to try to do it in a more quieter type maybe setting, and so you know, I was okay with it being like this, not in the ring. Personally, I think it kind of protected it because we kind of saw a lot of the clashing between them for the last few weeks, and we didn't need to see it again. And so this is the one time I was actually okay with them not necessarily doing this in the ring. I was okay with it being in the locker room, but also how important this would literally be for them and this feud, but also for NXT. I think like while I'm not on Trick's like Trick is cool, but I'm not like a huge fan of him like I am. I think I'm more of a Carmelo fan, to be fair, even though Carmelo is wrong, and I can admit, like you got to be able to be a fan that knows the use of common sense. He was wrong, but I do think with the fact that you have a lot of people behind Trick, but also there's people who still like Carmelo, that this is going to be a really really good match, and I thought this sold it. If you wasn't convinced before this, you're convinced now. I thought it was pretty solid. But that's basically how NXT ended. But you tell me, girly, your thoughts on Tony and Ilya's segment as well as this one.
I just think it's crazy that Tony's doing all this and he's gonna lose. Like that is like so sick to me. Like I really feel bad for him actually. Dragunov is funny to me. He's so funny to me because like why are you entertaining this? Like you're about to beat him. You looking around. Why are you like you're playing with me. You are. So I'm not even about to like because you're playing with me. Moving on to Carmelo and Trick. Carmelo is like I thought Lexus was my favorite delusional heel, but honestly I really believe that it's Carmelo. And he does it so well. He's literally so hilarious to me for no reason. Like, why are you so funny? Why are you so delulu? It's fantastic to me, actually. Trick, like, see, Trish, you lost me, Trick. Maybe you might be right, but I don't like when people say it. You jealous of me? You jealous of me? Okay, Miss High School, I don't like that. So now I want Carmelo to win just because you said that. I mean, I always wanted Carmelo to win, but you know what? That just made me want him to win even more. Because you said that. With them prom queen insults. You're jealous of me. How dare you? Anyways, I know that this is going to be a really, really awesome match, and I honestly needed it to be Saturday. Now, actually, even with a broken finger, even with a broken neck, Dragunov is winning on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that I come out of stand and deliver happy. Because Tony, like, bro, get real. Like, I'm gonna need him to calm down again. Like, all this about it's gonna be his last supper. Like, when you become Christ, come back. Okay, and since that's not you, because Christ has already died and risen, you kept up with last suppers. Can't we talk about last suppers? That's craziness. It just annoyed me again, like the whole bridge segment. Like, how are you gonna throw people off bridges and you didn't even throw them off the bridge? You threatened. If I knew I could throw somebody off the bridge, you're going over. I got time for that. I'm not gonna even make a threat. Gonna be like, surprise! Over the side you go. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that is how NXT ended, leading up to Stand and Deliver, which I, again, very, very excited for. It's gonna be a hell of a tiring Saturday. But I am extremely excited for it, as well as this new weekend, because I might be stressed, guys. But thank you guys, as always, for hanging out with us today. Shay, tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yes. Well, a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast just dropped this past Monday. We were talking about a lot of WrestleMania and a lot of Stand and Deliver. So if you want to listen to that, pull it up. You can catch me at Shay Sawyer on Twitch. Currently in the middle of a rebrand, so I'm trying to get new designs, and we'll be back streaming. And you can also find me on Twitter on Shay Sawyer _ yes, she's Twitter. I will continue calling her Twitter because that's what her mama named her. And you can find me on Instagram at Shay Sawyer was here as well if you want to connect. And yeah. Then you catch me right back here Tuesday with this lovely lady talking about turtlenecks. And I believe I will be, okay, actually not this weekend, but the following week, Saturday, I will be turning back for the Collision Show. That's on Unpopular Review, so, look out for that.
As for me, you guys can catch me on Cat We Trust. E is a 3 on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and crap. I feel like I'm missing something. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. The E is a 3. Also, as far as any new things for me, definitely go and make sure you check out my YouTube channel. There's also new stuff. I have been dealing a lot. It's been really busy. It never ends. And so check me out there for some new ones. Also, please, guys, don't forget to support your girlies over on BodySlam.net. Slam chats. Definitely go. Well, not ashamed this week to that comment. But definitely, if you can, support us on the Slam chats. But as said, guys, we truly appreciate you guys, even with some of these shenanigans I saw in the comments, even the last one. So you guys gotta always do these shit. I would never want Cody. Don't do that. See, I'm trying to end off with positivity every time. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching with us, for hanging with us, and for being here every week with us, even when we're gone and we come back. But we love you guys, and we appreciate you guys, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye, guys.